Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG. This one's located on the northeast spawn of Live Oaks, and it's under the command of Angelina75, and this is the first submission for this week's competition. Angelina won last week, and she enjoyed breakfast in bed on Sunday. Now it's a fresh game. Let it start. Off we go. Well, it's the 15cm howitzer, but it's the version you find in the Gorilla, not the Top Gun. And Angelina's making her way to the north edge of the map. Now, from here, you actually do get good shots into the city, and that means that any heavy tanks who are going to try and make their way across that field towards the town are going to get absolutely pummeled. Well, enemy tank's been spotted in the marsh area. It's an M41 Bulldog. She fires around in quickly, and she does stun him. And she's picking up some stun assists straight off the mark. In fact, a lot, 766 so far from that Bulldog. Now, she's landed in a Tier 8 game with Tier 6 tanks in it. Okay, she's reloaded. And it looks like that T71's trying to get away. Well, he did get stunned, but he cured the stun straight away. And it looks like he's run straight into our AMX 1357 while he's in a reload. But he does go down. So Angelina didn't get any more stun assist off that T71. But she has noticed an enemy ARL 44 over on the hill and near the fields. Rounds out in the T37. Well, she's got a bit of stun assist there. Well, little stun. Only 17 hit points from the splash. Moving position again to avoid counter battery. We've been learning recently that counter battery in the NA server is very, very hot indeed. Chances are you are going to get counter batteried at some point, because a lot of people like doing it. In fact, they like to start doing the counter battery right from the start. And, well, the position that Angelina has chosen is very unlikely to see her counter battery because it's so far away from the normal Arty positions near the cap area. In fact, you can see the other Arty on our team, which is a GW Panther, has gone near to the cap. And he's still there, but he's the only one near the cap other than the Scorpion. Okay, AT-15. The standard reload for this Arty is 25.31. Angelina's got that down to, I think, about just under 20. 20.5, actually. The Alpha's 480, and it's got 38mm of pen with the standard ammo. She's carrying mostly, well, in fact, carrying nothing but stun HE, and the reason for that, obviously, you need the stun assist if you're going to get a high mastery. And in order to win the game, she's dialing in on that Cromwell. Oh, and he goes down to the GW Panther instead. So Angelina quickly reassigns her aim to the M3Y, who's hiding behind that house, and thinks the Arty's safe there. No, you're not. Direct hit, 108 hit points, and she gets stunned. And she's picking up stun assist straight away. She's bottom tier in the Tier 8 game, so every Tier 8 she hits, she's going to be getting extra XP. That M3Y is a Tier 8. Rounds out. Another direct hit, this time on the Tiger P, who's Tier 7, and the M3Y did get stunned as well, and Angelina's picked up a huge amount of stun assists already. 1,600 stun assists. And the M3Y and Tiger P are out the game. We're going for the AT-15A, the premium British tank destroyer, sitting behind the house. Well, he's not sitting there anymore, except as a smoking wreck, because he got wiped out by Angelina's shell. And that's her first kill. So it's a good game, because there's only 5 enemies left now, and 2 of those are Arty. And Angelina's actually driving towards the enemy cap area. Okay, M12 been spotted in the dip. Fires her round in, and, well, she was bang on target, but unfortunately the M12 was taken out by the KV-5 before her shell could arrive. There's a Borsig somewhere in that yard, but Angelina's going to try a difficult shot on the M6Y. There's the Borsig. He's sitting on the corner now. Okay, so she can get a shot here. Lines up the shot, rounds out. And she gets a hit for 185. And going for another shot. Okay, another Arty's been spotted, but he's just outside range. Angelina's not going to be able to drive there in time, so she's going to fire at the Borsig. Rounds out. Unfortunately, she doesn't get that one. And the Scorpion's about to kill the Borsig. Well, the Borsig actually goes down to the GW Panther from the other end of the map, and the game is over. Here's the end of battle stats of the first game, and Angelina managed to get a first-class tanker out of that game, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 5 exactly. Her win rate wasn't particularly high. She got only 785, but she wasn't able to get a huge amount of damage because the battle was over fairly quickly. Let's have a look at team score. Well, she's way down the table here with only 533 hit points of damage. The high scorer in the game was an Iron Arty, who had 2,481, followed by a Hawk 30 with 2,330, and he got a Confederate and patrol duty in that game. The third highest damage actually went to the Scorpion on the team as well, with only 2,006. So very small actual damage score. But when it came to kills, Angelina did get 1 kill in third place, or joint third place. The top scorer was KV5, got 3 kills. 2 kills went to the Scorpion, Porlac Tag, GW Panther, and the VK4503. And Angelina was in the third bunch with 1 kill. And when it came to base XP, she's actually 4th from the top. Now, 1,344 base experience points went to the Hawk 30 because of all the spotting. 774 went to the Iron Arty. 769 went to the T43. And there in 4th place is Angelina with 757. That's mainly down to the stun assist she did. She fired only 11 shots in the game, so a small number of shells. 4 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, and 8 splash. Damage of 533 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 6 of the enemy, kill 1, so she just missed out on getting a Confederate. 1,665 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns, and that gave her the first class tanker. Now, she came out of that game with a profit of 88,116 credits, and even if she hadn't got the mission completion, she still would have got 38,000 credits, so it would have been a profit either way. On the XP, she took away 2,271, so that game puts Angelina in the lead for this week's competition already with a first class and a bruiser, and Talon's now going to have to get either a first class bruiser and a medal, or he's going to have to get a first class, a bruiser, and a win rate better than Angelina's. Now, that shouldn't be too difficult because both of them are capable of getting super Unicum standards on win 8. But it's going to be a little while before Talon gets there, I think. He sent in another replay. So his first replay for this competition. Let's have a look at it. And the first replay is on, second replay, is on the Malinovka map. Talon's in the GW Panther, the Geschützwagen Panther, which, as you know, it's the Tier 7 German SPG. It's also got a 15cm howitzer, but this one is capable of doing 600 alpha and penetrating 39mm of armor with a 7m burst radius. Now, it's based on the hull of a Panther, and they did design it, but they never went ahead and built it because they needed the Panthers as tanks, not as Arty. Okay, first target that comes to the site is a Wizzy 1111FT, who's making a quick dash to try and get down to the south end of the field. Not a good move at this stage in the battle, and I think he's taken on too much. First shot out. Lands near where the Wizzy was spotted. Our guys haven't moved much up the hill, but only 2 tanks have gone up the hill. The rest are staying near the cap area. That doesn't bode well. We've got a TS-54 and a Bisonte C-45. It's a Tier 8 game with Tier 7 tanks in it. Talon's sticking around here for the moment, just reposition himself. Now he's aiming just across the lake, but the Wizzy comes into sight again, so he decides he'll have another go at that guy. Oh, there's a target he does want. That's a Comet. Rounds out. And that was a direct hit for 192, but the Comet took more damage and he's stunned. Although some of the shots in his direction are not actually penetrating. Wizzy's still here. He's fully dialed in, so lines it up, rounds out, looks good. Just lands in front of him for 85 hit points. He is firing from one side of the battlefield to the other, and oh, what have we got here? A T-29, Tier 7 American Heavy, trying to make his way to the other end of the dip. We've got a Panther up on the observation ramp at F7, but that T-29 is actually causing a bit of a threat, and the enemy's also got tanks right up the hill. We've only got 2 tanks up there, and it doesn't bode well that they don't have any other support. Okay, we've got a Fox. Those are very good medium tanks. Going for the Pisante, rounds out. Wow, it was very close. He's changing position by reversing. Oh, there goes the tree. Now the T-29 is going to be really difficult to hit, so it's, unless he pokes his head up over that bank, it's not worth hitting. But that T-32 is very much worth hitting. Oh, that T-34 100 even more, and he goes down. So go back to the T-32, fire around into him, and that was a direct hit for 262. Okay, the T-29's now poking up out of the ramp to take the occasional shot. Okay, the Super Hellcat looks like the best target now because he's low on hit points. Well, lowish, 662. And oh, we've got a bit of a rescue balloon there because he's right at the edge of the field of fire. It's lined up, rounds out. Oh, he killed him! He got a direct hit and a pen. That must have been a pen because he had about 600 hit points. So I think, yes, that was a pen shot. Okay, T-32 still there. Sitting behind the wreck for cover. It's not going to protect him from an Arty shell. 174 from that direct hit. Talon's decided he needs to move a bit further back because he is vulnerable now. Well, despite the fact that only 2 tanks went up the hill, they were only 2 heavy tanks that went up the hill. Both of those are dead. And now we've got 2 mediums and a tank destroyer to protect us from what's up there. But they are coming down already. The enemy tanks are trying to make a rush. Looks like he's going to go right to the corner. Oh, we lost the Wizzy. We did have a Wizzy 111-1 FT trying to stop the guys from getting past the rock. And in fact, now they've reached the rock. And Talon's gone right into the corner. Okay, he needs to get on these guys who are coming down the hill. T-32's decided to go through the dip, which is an area I favour actually using, because you're actually in a ground depression there. Direct hit for 157. If you can go through that dip area, you're less likely to get hit by any of the guys who are defending the hill on the reverse slope, because they can't see you until you will pop up right in front of them. Talon's decided to retreat back towards the cap area, or at least as far as he can get. He's now sitting on the corner, and the enemy's starting to box us in, and they appear to be ignoring our Progetto, who's right up on top of the hill. We're now aiming for a Progetto who's on the side of the lake. Rounds out. Direct hit on his turret for 260. That was a good shot. In the meantime, our other Progetto is actually now assaulting and going after the enemy Su-130PM. Okay, we just see the T-32 dying. Okay, can we help that Progetto? He's trying to shove that Su-130PM around, and he did manage to ram kill him. Now, can we do something about this GW Panther spy? Rounds out. Direct hit right on his front for 178. That was a good shot. I think the Progetto is also shooting at him from above the hill, and he's being fired upon by the enemy Arty. We're going for the Progetto again, the enemy Progetto. He's fired his last round, so he's now reloading. Nothing much he can do except hide. Rounds out. Direct hit on his turret for 250 this time. That hopefully will have upset his reload. Slow him down a little. But we've got nothing between us and the enemy now, so the enemy might come at any moment. Okay, we can see the enemy RT. Okay, Progetto pulling back, lining up the shots, fires it in. Direct hit! Don't know how much damage it did because he was unspotted. But we're 2 down on the enemy now, and the enemy is really close. We've got an enemy Bisonte who's, well, he must be within view range, but the only reason he can't see us is because there's too many trees and bushes in the way. But our teammates can see him because he's firing in their direction. Okay, if we fire in his direction, he's going to know we're here. And we've lost sight of him. I'm sure he's getting closer. We're 4 down on the enemy now. This is not good. And Talon's lost all sight of the enemy, so it means that he can't do anything. Until the enemy comes into sight, he can't aim. In fact, the best thing he can do at the moment is just hold on to the shell and wait for that Bisonte to come into sight so he can blast him. He keeps pulling his aim back because he thinks the Bisonte is closer. And I think he's right. I'm pretty sure that that Bisonte is a lot closer than he imagines at this moment. You can see that the enemy Arty is firing at our Comet. And, well, the only enemy in sight now is a BZ-58. And he's engaging our Comet. And then we've got the Progetto again. He's coming to sight. He's very low on hit points. In fact, now he's a one-shot. So if we can get this shot on target. Ramps out. Yes! Kill shot. So he does get a kill, but will that be the last one he gets? I think it's more than likely that Bisonte is going to arrive any moment. There's only 2 left on our team. And we just lost the last teammate who was a challenger. And that means now that he's the only member of his team left. And I think that Bisonte is right behind us. He fires 1 round in at the BZ-58. He's just been hit by the T-29. He's taken all of his hit points, and the Bisonte finishes us off. And the game is over. Well, I'm afraid there was no mastery for Talon in that game at all. All he got was a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 9 in that game. And his win rate was very high, 4,191, but no mastery at all. Would you believe that? He did do a fair amount of damage. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, 2,767 hit points, which actually turned out to be the highest damage in the game, but he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool. So he didn't end up with a high caliber. Second highest damage in that game went to the Bisonte that killed him with 2,501 hit points. And the third highest damage was the Progetto on his own team with 2,237. That was the guy who killed the Su-130PM and was right out in the field up in the north, but ignored by the enemy. When it came to kills, it was the Bisonte who did the best with 3 kills. Of course, one of those happened to be Talon. And in joint second place was the enemy Progetto, the GW Panther spy, their T-32, and Talon, who also got 2 kills in that game. So he was top on damage, second on kills, and when it came to base XP, obviously the enemy comes out on top because they won the game. 1,133 went to the Bisonte, 798 went to the Wizzy 1111 FT, and third place was the Progetto 46 on the enemy team, the tank that Talon killed. He got 793 out of that game, and Talon only got 473. He fired 14 shots, so a good amount of shots fired. 9 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot. That was definitely the Super Hellcat. We can just check that now. Yes, he penetrated him for 522 hit points. Went straight through him, and in fact it was a blind kill at that. He also got 13 splashes, damage of 2,767 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Received 2 hits from the enemy, one of them from the T-29, the other from the Vicente, and 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, and 12 stuns were caused, but absolutely no stun assist. So if he'd actually had his teammates shooting at the tanks that he was stunning, he might have actually ended up with a mastery, and possibly quite a high one at that, because that's a fair amount of damage. In fact, it was the highest damage in the game. Now, he did earn a profit, even though their team lost. He got 13,445 credits, mainly down to the fact that he did a huge amount of damage. And he also picked up 709 XP again, but I'm afraid that was the last game he played for one night. He was really getting some really dodgy and bad games, and he wasn't happy. But this was the best game that he played, and after this he thought, well, that's enough. I'm not going to play anymore tonight. But he has sent in some more replays, so we'll get to see those in the next video. If you enjoyed both of these replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.